Hey, tell us about yourself, your name, and what your experience is.
I'm Chris Montoya, and I'm from Albuquerque. I have pastlivesabq.com, and this weekend I took a training class with Mark Johnson and Lana Johnson here at Good Vibes Hypnosis, and I had an incredible experience. I not only am able to deepen my practice with the techniques that I've learned here, but I've also got to experience practice sessions. Mark is very knowledgeable about all the techniques and the processes. He taught me some interesting things like inner child work. He's also introduced me to the concept of doing work in the womb and also even some Gestalt therapy processes. And I just had a blast meeting everybody in the class. I can't wait to go back to my practice and utilize these new techniques and these new tips that I've learned here to really enhance my clients' experience.
So can you tell us why you were interested in taking the Past Life Regression class?
Yeah, for me, I wanted to take the Past Life Regression class because I've known Mark since 2010. He's been a really good friend and colleague. I know his style. I know he knows his stuff. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that what Mark knows, what he says, what he's researched, what he's put together is the most effective therapy in hypnosis and also in past life regression. He's seen it all, he's studied it all, he's put it all together, and he put it in a class, and he's really refined it to a point where not only can he deliver the content, but he can also train people to, take that content, take those scripts, make them their own, and really take people through a therapeutic process. And I was really wanting that for my business.
Was he the only instructor in the class?
Mark was an instructor, Lana was an instructor, his wife, and I think everybody in the class in their own capacities were instructors too, because they all brought their own experience into this class. So in some ways everyone's a teacher, but definitely Mark and Lana were the primary instructors, and boy do they really know what they're doing.
Was there a technique or a surprise in the class that you learned that you were most appreciative of?
For me, what was most impactful was, first of all, getting such a deep level of trance. And I'm not a newbie at trance. I've been in many trance states before. I've done hypnosis work. But the deepest trance I've ever experienced was here working with Mark. And what's really great about this is that Mark really he not only is this instructor, but he also demos with the students. And so everybody gets a chance, at least in this class, to work with Mark. And I'm not sure that it would always be that way, given his time constraints with the amount of time to teach. But we all were lucky enough to have an experience with Mark, and it was the most profound and impactful trance experience I've had to date.
Tell me a little bit about the students you encountered in the class with you.
Yeah, so for me, I encountered some really interesting and wonderful people. For me, it was like the generosity of people really shone through during this week. We had people bring in food for lunch. We had people who were willing to work together with you. We had people who really wanted the best for you in this process. And so I really and we also had people from the other side in the spirit world that were working with us. So not only were the people in the room really great, but also our guides, our teachers from the other side. And we were able to work with them on sometimes certain levels. And I think the generosity of the students, I think the caring of the students, because everybody here really cared about each other's well-being, their knowledge. We wanted to contribute with each other. And it was really a special group. And Mark's, I know I'm a little stuttery a little bit, but I'm just like, blah, blah, blah.
That's okay.
I would say that, not only is the students great, but the community that Mark builds around him when he's teaching in the students is really profound and impactful for me. So that was really helpful. And he's very open-minded.
You've done past life regression before in your private practice. Was there a technique or a style that you learned that you had no clue about?
Yeah, for me, I did a particular mode of past life regression, which I was trained to do, but what we didn't do was inner child work. We didn't go to in utero or in the womb and look at some of those things, and we also didn't do other smaller techniques which actually have a major impact. And I would have to say my favorite technique is the projection technique, where we actually look at moving one's awareness from whatever one's experience is in the trance state into another person to get more information about the dynamics that went on. So that was really powerful.
So how will you take the learning that you achieved in this classroom and apply it to your own business?
Yeah, so for me, a couple things stand out in that question. The first thing is that I'm going to not only revise how I do a past life regression so I can actually bring in more complete information for my clients, but I'm really going to be focusing on the therapeutic value even deeper. I really value the therapeutic value of trance and hypnosis, but what Mark provided in terms of techniques to really kind of tie up those loose ends that I never could do that before. I tried to do it, or I didn't have the understanding on the best way to do it, and I did the best I could. Well, now I have some solid tips, techniques, and methodologies to be able to tie those up and help clients heal faster, emotionally, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Do you feel like the students that were with you in the class, will they be good resources in the future, and if so, how?
Yeah, I think the students in the class have created a camaraderie with each other. I also think that getting to know each other, if we have stumbling blocks or we get stuck, or we wanted to share our experiences as an outlet with each other, because Mark's going to be really busy, he's not going to always have time, we can communicate with each other. And so this is the way that this class was put together. It encourages community, and yeah, I think that would be great.
Is there anything else you want to say about the class in your own words?
The only other thing I would say about the class is that you really get the materials, which is really powerful. You get the materials, you get the scripts, you get the book, you get Mark's first-hand knowledge, and you also get support after the class, and that's really just invaluable.
So you feel prepared going into in the real world and taking these techniques with you?
Yeah, I think just even working today with Lisa, one of the participants in the class, I felt really good just going in there and being able to improvise a little bit in the process of getting the induction going, deepening the experience for her, and really customizing it to her needs and being able to address what she wanted. So yeah, I feel very prepared and very fortunate.
Do you feel like there's a key to success to this past life course?
I think the key to success is commitment to one's own practice and one's own knowledge and one's own skill building. If you bring that into the course, there's no way you couldn't be successful with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris.
Thank you.